think the Persian Empire is one of the best empires that we as a modern people should follow them. There are several reasons to why, but first let me explain the history behind the Persian Empire, how it became great and how it fell. Just a brief history of the Persian Empire. The Persian Empire is also known as the Achaemenid Empire, founded by Cyrus the Great, which is one of the most important and underrated historical figures in the whole entire history. This guy is a total badass, very underrated. So he escaped from the Median Empire, which is on the north of the Persian tribes. So he escaped from the Medians and he went back down to the Persian tribes and he unites everyone in the Persian tribes. Then together, with the help of Harpagus, which was the general of the king of the Median Empire, which the Median Empire king himself is the grandfather of Cyrus the Great. So Cyrus the Great went to unite the Persian tribes along with the help of Harpagus, the general of Median, to have a revolt against the Median Empire. What happens then? Cyrus the Great, well, I don't know how he did it, but he was great and he gets to overthrow the Median Empire king, and boom, this is the birth of the Achaemenid Empire, which is founded by Cyrus the Great. And then from there on, Cyrus the Great built a lot of foundation works there, infrastructures, governmental policies, also founded human rights, abolished slavery. And then after that, all is done, they have a good foundation. They went on to conquering Lydia. After conquering Lydia, they are already very huge, and then they started conquering Babylon, the Neo-Babylonians, which is the king Nabosidus. There was very, very cool. It is one of the worst place to be in if you are a human, right? You will be treated unfairly. Anyone who tries to conquer the Neo-Babylonian or the king Nabosidus, I don't know how to pronounce that, they will kill them. Anyone who tries to conquer the Neo-Babylonians, they will get killed and their skulls will be placed at the entrance of the door. Also, their flashes will be used as wall paintings throughout the cities, which is a total psychological warfare for them. So in all short, right, this King Nabosidus is one of the worst kings out there. And Cyrus the Great, when he conquered the Babylonians, he is seen as the liberator, right? And so after that, that's pretty much all of the history of the Achaemenid Empire. Well, not all, because after that there is Caymysies, and then there is Darius the First, which further extends the Persian Empire to a great extent to Egypt and to the Balkans and somewhere in the east. Yeah, and then the empire expands to its peak, and then Xerxes came and the Greco-Persian War started and they lost, and that marked the fall of the Persian Empire. Along then, Alexander the Great come in and conquered the land, and it was all over from there. It's all downhill. But at its peak, the Persian Empire was so big, man. It was crazy. It was it's actually the most powerful force, right? The most biggest, the most powerful the world has ever seen to date. Now, what can we learn from this? How did the Persians get very, very strong? And as the title suggests, why do we need to copy the Persian Empire? Right. First of all, a lot of great and success comes from Cyrus the Great. Cyrus the Great, he was the epic leader, epic ruler, epic conqueror, epic king of all times. To me, it's one of the best kings, no question, no doubt, right? Because first thing is, he has huge respect for other traditions and cultures. He is seen as the liberator, right? He lets people practice whatever they want to practice, traditions. And next, he founded the human rights laws. So you might all think, where does human rights laws come from? Who created it? Well, actually Cyrus the Great, and he practiced it in his own empire. Crazy, you know, he's really underrated, man. And next, what he did is he abolished slavery. While all other empires out there are practicing slavery, right? Like, oh, you black guy, you work for me for the rest of your life, and your children are going to work for me for the rest of your life. But Cyrus the Great and the Persian Empire, we're going to change all of this shit, all right? No one is going to be a slave now. Everyone is treated equally for respect, and you can practice whatever tradition and culture you want. holy shit, man, Cyrus the Great is kind of Messiah, you know. But not only I'm saying this, but when he liberated the Jews from the Babylonian captives, even the Jews sees Cyrus the Great as a Messiah. You know? Without Cyrus the Great, the Jews probably won't exist anymore. I mean, the religion don't exist. Also, Christianity and Islam would also not exist. So Cyrus the Great is, if you ask me, he's the most underrated. I got to make a whole new video about him. So underrated, right? So the thing is, people say we need to be cool, we need to cheat, we need to kill, we need to steal to become powerful, but that's not the case for Cyrus the Great. He is living proof that we don't have to be cruel, we don't have to kill or cheat or maybe kill because you need to conquer lands and territories, but you don't have to be a cruel person to be powerful, right? Most people say that you have to be cruel, but Cyrus the Great is a great example that we don't have to be cruel in order to gain power and to gain influence over people, right? But of course, he's Cyrus the Great anyways, but you know, there's a lesson we can learn from here. The great thing about Cyrus is that he is seen as the liberator, and even Alexander the Great idolized him. He heard stories about Cyrus the Great and he wants to become like Cyrus the Great. And when he visited his tomb, it was like, oh shit, who messed up with this Cyrus the Great's tomb? Alright, because Cyrus the Great's tomb was not at its peak condition. So Alexander the Great, what he does is he recovered the tomb of Cyrus the Great. And can you imagine how great is that? Great person recovering a great person's grave. Anyways, now let's talk about the Persians themselves, right? So there are three main things that the Persians learn. In order for them to be considered as a true Persian, they need to learn these three things, which are: the first is writing, second, archery, and the third is telling the truth. So how does this apply to us in the modern world, right? So understand this first, right? Writing is just writing is a form of producing, right? So today in the modern world, we don't produce that much, right? Most of us consume too much TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. All we do is consume. We rarely create anything. But in those bad times, the most noticeable way you're going to produce anything is writing, right? That's why writing, you got to produce. In the modern world, we apply it by producing. It can be videos like me, it can be writing, it can be some kind of a blog or anything you want. Basically anything, right? As long as you're creative about it. So you got to unleash those creative powers in you. Everyone has these creative powers in them. It's up to them whether they want to realize it or not. So next thing is archery. Of course, we also, in the modern world, we don't apply this at all, which we should be learning some sort of self-defense or some fighting skills anyways, and that helps us to be more resourceful in fighting. In fact, if you see at the Persian armies during the ancient times, they were super great at archery. Archery is one of their greatest strengths. But one of the reasons they lost to the Greeks is because the Greeks, as you know, they have some super strong shield, you know. Their defense from the arrows and from archeries are very strong. So the Persian Empire, which their best is archery, is weak against the Greeks. That's why they mainly lost. Even they outnumbered the Greeks. Of course, there are much more important factors to look on, like the Spartan warriors, how they are crazy and very they're beastly motivated and inspired by King Leonidas and all of this. One of the factors that caused the fall down of the Persian empires during the Greco-Persian wars was that the Greeks have very strong defense against archeries. So that's also another lesson where we should not just all your eggs in one basket, because when a state can counter your best attack just like that and you have nothing else to counter back, then you're gonna lose immediately, right? That is why we have to improve in almost every aspect of our lives, not just in one part of our life and just put all your eggs in all those one baskets, but learn to expand some other parts of your life. Of course, have one that is going to be your very, very great thing, but also expand the other parts of your life as well. Right, so the third thing is telling the truth. Now, what might seem as we apply in the modern world, actually we don't apply telling the truth that much in the modern world, because the thing is about telling the truth, it's not just telling the truth, it's about integrity, right? Everybody can say the truth, or everybody can be honest, but having integrity is 10 times harder than saying the truth. Let me give you an example, right? For example, you're selling a product, right? You know the product is good, but it has some downsides. But when you pitch it to people, hey, look at this cool new watch, you know, it has all these functions and all the cool shit. But the bad thing is, it's not water resistant, but you don't tell the fact that it is not water resistant. If you're an honest person, you don't have to say that it's water resistant, or you just have to say the truth about it. But if you have integrity, you would say, hey, this watch is great and all, I'm selling this, but you should know that it's not water resistant. That is having integrity. That's the difference between just being honest and having integrity, which is a huge difference. And I believe that we all should aim to be more integrity. And next thing about the Persian is that they are Zoroastrians, which means they practice monotheism. So I think having belief in God, where everyone believes in something, is a good thing, right? Not saying that you have to believe in some sort of a higher superpower, but it definitely helps, right? It helps you to be more mindful about what you do every day, your purpose in life, how you live your life, how you are having a shared purpose with other people. You know, shared purpose is one of the things that creates a great civilizations. No doubt about that. Alright, then next. So next, the thing about the Persians, that they're one of the earliest people to have the decentralized government, alright, where the empire is divided into several strapses, I think. They call it strapses, but it's just another word for provinces or states. Yeah, if your empire gets too big, it's not logical for only one person to have superpower of it, ultimate power. You got to give some semi-autonomy to some parts of it, so they can manage the place well, right? They are given some sort of power to it, but not to the maximum as the emperor itself, but some sort of power, right? And this is something that we already copied to this day. A lot of countries have states and provinces, and I believe it's one of the things that they copy from the Persians. Well, not directly from the Persians, they copy from the previous until it reaches to the Persian Empire. And now let's talk about Darius, right? Darius the first, which he expands towards north of the empire after Caymysies. So Darius, one of the great things he did is he built the royal road. It makes it easier for people to communicate and transport from the west of the Achaemenid Empire to the east of the Achaemenid Empire. When I say Achaemenid and Persian, it literally means the same, so just don't get confused with it, right? Alright, so then, and I don't know if this is a great thing that he did or not, but to me, it's one of the greatest things you can do is when you have that vision to unite the people of your empire, because greatest leading cause of the fall of empires is this unification of the people, right? So if you unite the people, it is more going to take less likely for the empire to fall. Of course, empires fall eventually. Every empire falls eventually, but it's going to take much more longer time if the people of the empire unite. If people are disunited and they're hating on each other, it can accelerate civil wars, people fighting each other, having disagreements, backstabbing, traitors, and all of this shit happens, right? And almost every fall of civilization starts with civil wars. So that's pretty much all of it. But there are some things you can learn more from this. First thing is dream big, but have sustainability measures. Like Darius the First, he expanded the Persian Empire, but at the same time he builds the infrastructures, the roads, communication system. So it's just like you can have big dreams, but always have those measures to be sustainable with what you are doing, right? For example, if you're a person who works all day and you find video games to be a great way to have those break times and it keeps you consistent, so why not play more video games, right? It's one of the things that keeps you consistent, so don't demonize them. The video games makes you connect more with your friends, and makes you go outside and play video games. Don't demonize these habits just because they make you ADHD or something, alright? Always have time to have some breaks, chill on yourself, find time to release your stress, find time with friends and families as well. Another thing is, social skills are undoubtedly one of the things not just need, it's mandatory if you want to be powerful, you want to gain a strong influence, you want to unite the people, you need social skills. What do you think that Cyrus the Great was able to unite the people of the Persian tribes? Imagine he's introvert dude sitting at the corner of the class and just shy and not talking anything. Do you think he can unite the people of the Persians to go ahead and have a revolt against the Median Empire? Fucking way, man. No fucking way. It's not gonna happen, right? Okay, the next thing is loneliness, right? Next thing is we should respect other people, what they think, what their opinions are, what traditions are, and not to think that we are better than them, right? Stop this habit of thinking where we are better than this sort of people because they play games, they watch TikTok, they YouTube, Instagram, all this shit, man. Stop thinking you're better than them, right? Because loneliness stems from thinking that we are right, we are better than them. It's also the root of racism. Think about it. What do you think the American in those times they practice slavery to those black people because they think that they are better than the black people? You see, this is kind of ego, the pride that they have that's bad for humanity, right? Thinking of, oh, I'm better than them because I did this, that, and he does that. This is the root of racism, which leads to slavery and so on. But Cyrus was the opposite of that, right? He respects everyone, even the Persians, they respect traditions and the cultures of other people. Right? Don't think you are right, don't think you are wrong. Just see everyone as equal. You're human, I'm human, we are humans, we are just the same, alright? What I want to say is, stop ditching your loser friends. I know some people are going to say, oh, you got to hang out with winners, then you can only be a winner if you hang out with a winner. But no, you got to open your mind, open your perspective a lot, right? Those loser friends are going to help you. They're going to make you have fun, make you see the world. Most of them are street smart. They're gonna teach you how to fish, how to camp, how to survive. These are the people who don't want to, yes, spend most of your time with the people who shares the same purpose and goals with you, but also don't ditch the friends that are losers, right? Don't ditch them. In fact, you should help them. If you think that you're so better, you should help them. Don't ditch them, guys. Don't ditch them. So in conclusion, always remember these 4 things. Always have respect for each other people, others' tradition, right? Second is finding a middle ground in between and learn to work together. Make sure our people learn to produce more, self-defense, and also integrity. And finally, you can be powerful by upholding justice. You can be powerful. Don't ever let anyone tell you you should cheat, steal, and kill, or all of this shit. But maybe you need a little amount of that, but you definitely don't need it to the point like Mao, Hitler, or all of these useless emperors who made it to the top because they're just being unjust or some shit like that, alright? So that's all for the Persian Empire. Oh shit, this is a long video, man. Alright, peace out.